Okay, today we will see, same example like whatever we saw last time, right? So last time we saw one example, and we are trying to save one of the employee details, correct?
Yes.
Okay, as part of that employee details, we used to give first name, last name, and ID.
Yeah.
Employee ID. So that employee ID we are giving as part of our Java class. Java class mean to say here. So we are giving employee ID as part of our Java class, and as part of our second example we are trying to generate that employee ID from the database. So you see here, if you see here from the Java side, we are not giving the employee ID. Just we commented, and from the HBM side, what we mentioned that generator employee ID class as an increment. What it will do, so even though if you are not giving the employee ID, it will generate the employee ID like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. It will keep on generating the employee ID. So that is the last example what we saw, correct?
Yeah.
And today we are going to see another example. Okay, today it is also similar kind of example. There is no difference. See here, employee, first name, last name, email, Hibernate. Yes, today what is the example, last time whatever the example we say, every time what it will do, every time whenever running the program, it will, whatever the existing table is there, it will deleting it and it will recreating it. Deleting it, it's recreating it. So that is the example. So what we saw last time. And today what we are going to see, the example whatever we are going to see is what is the difference. That is only one difference. The difference is, you see this hibernate.cfg.xml. So here what I'm trying to do here, I'm keeping here update. So what it will do, the update, if table is there, it will just insert the record. If table is not there, it will recreate the table. If table is there, it will insert the records. So that what will happen, it's keep on, we are adding the records, we are not deleting the table.
Okay.
So that is the only difference between the previous example and the current example. Previous example, we had given the value as a create underscore drop this Hibernate HBM2 DDL. So what it will do, if table is not there, it will create it. If table is there, it will drop the table and it will recreate fresh table every time. Basically we are trying to create fresh table. If you mentioned create underscore drop, what it will do, every time it will create a new table. So that is the previous example, but as part of current example we are going to mention as an update. So what it will do, update, just it will try to insert the record, it will not drop the table. So that is the basic difference. So first what we will do, we will try to run this one, and rest of the things are same, there is no difference. Same employee table, same column, same key, primary key will generate from the database side. So here also we commented.
Yeah.
That is one difference. And the second thing is, right, so far what we did, just we insert the records, correct, and we never retrieved the record, we never updated the record, we never deleted the record. So that we are going to see today. So first let me comment out all these methods. So today we are going to see some more records, like how we are going to update the records, how we are going to delete the employee records, like a kind of crude operations. First let me get the employee records, how many employees is there.
Okay.
Just I'm trying to get all the employee records from the database. So how we are going to get that? See here, configuration, session factory, session, everything is same, there is no difference. So I have written a simple method, get employee list. For that employee list I'm passing the session anyway we have.
Yeah.
Let's go to employee list. So this is the employee list. So here, how to retrieve all the employees whatever available in the table. How to retrieve. So far, just we are inserting the records. So today, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to retrieve all the employee records whatever is available inside our database. So how to retrieve? We have a session object, correct? From the session, we have a method called create query, and here we have to pass the table name. Table name means in our case a Java class name. It's not a original table name, it's a Java class name. So whatever available inside your employee table, this is your project class, correct? So we have to mention create query from means from Java class. So indirectly it will refer corresponding table. So list,
Yeah.
so what it will do, it will give you a list. So this list we are going to iterate it. So how we are going to iterate the list? We need to get the iterator. Okay, you will get the iterator. From the iterator we need to call the has next. From that we need to call the next method, and you will get employee object. So then we can able to see all the employees from the database. Let me run it and we will see whether we are getting all the employees or not. Just we are trying to read all the employees available from the database. Yes, we are getting right. So many records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records we are getting.
Yeah.
So these are the 6 records we are getting from database. And the select, generated query is just select statement. If you see here, select employee blah 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 from the employee 2 table, employee 222 table. So that is the just it's a select query. If at all if you want select records, so we have to use this thing from employee, and it will give the list. You have to iterate the list and you can able to see all the employee records. Also, let me open the database and we will see inside database how many records is there.
Yeah.
Yes, these are the records. How many records is there? 6, correct? Total 6 rows is available. So when I read the Java program, so I got 6 records. So these are the available records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the way to retrieve all the records from the existing table. Just we need to call from the session create query, then it will return all the list of the employees, and we have to iterate the list, and each list of element is having one of the employee element, so you can display as it is.
Okay.
This is clear, right? How to retrieve the employee list from the database. From the session we need to call create query method, it will give the list of employees. Okay, this is clear, right? Yeah, now just we know how to retrieve the records. As part of the second method, if you see here, just below get employee list, what I have written another method. Let me enable that one. Let me comment out this one. So the second method, what it will do, I want to update one of the employee details. If you know the employee ID, you can able to update. So how to update one of the existing employee details? For this also we need to pass input as a session update employee details. This is the method. So here, right, if you see our employee list, let me take one of the employee list. So these are the existing employee list we have, correct? 21323 324 326 327 328 329. So these are the valid employee details. If you see here, right, I want to update 21327. So what is the first name?
Right.
Lori 1.
Noted.
Second name Mac 1. So this is the one of the employee detail 21327. So what I want to do, I want to update 2132C employee first name as a Lori 2. Instead of Lori 1, I want to update to the Lori 2. So first what I had to do, I had to add the employee ID as 21327. So let me add the employee ID 21327. So okay, this is my employee ID. I hard coded. So before updating the employee ID, what you have to do? So you have to retrieve the original employee details from the database. So how to retrieve one employee details? As per the previous example, we retrieved all the employee details. First, what we have to do here before updating, so we have to retrieve one employee details from the database by passing the unique key. So in our case, what is the unique key? Employee ID, correct?
Yeah.
Employee ID is the unique key, correct? So what I'm trying to do, session dot, inside the session method, there is another method called get.
Okay.
We have to pass the employee class. Employee class means it will refer corresponding table name emp2222. So in our Java side, we have to refer only Java classes. We don't care about table name. So employee, and inside the employee class, what is the primary key? ID, correct? So that ID I am trying to pass here. So I'm trying to retrieve basically 21327 records. So it will give employee object. Once you retrieve the employee object, then you can modify the data. So whatever you want, I want to update to Lori2, and last name I want to update Mac2. So basically I'm trying to modify Lori1 to Lori2, Mac1 to Mac2. After that, we have another method inside the session, update. Just pass the employee object, which object you want to update.
Yeah.
So these two fields I modified, correct? First name, last name. So if you see here, first name and last name, Lori1, Mac1. So let me run it and we will see. First what I will do, I will run the results. After that, what I am trying to do, again I'm calling get employee list, correct? First I am updating one of the employee details. After that I am trying to retrieve all the employee list back again. Just I am calling the previous method, get employee list. Update employee, after that get employee list. Okay, let me run it and we will see whether it's updating or not. Yes, if you see here, what is the query it is generating? First we are trying to retrieve one of the employee details. Select, it is executing by passing the employee ID. First we are retrieving one employee details. After that, what we are trying to do, just we are trying to update the one of the employee details, update query. After that, we are trying to retrieve all the employee details. And if you see here, right, the Lori details, can you able to see update, right? Lori2,
Yeah.
Mac2. Okay, let me see the same details in database also. So right now, Lori1, Lori2, let me execute the query. You will see Lori2, Mac2, correct? It's
Yeah.
updated, right?
Yeah.
So this is the way to update one of the employee details. This is clear, right?
Yeah. So that means that actually first you wrote the methods, and based on the method you are getting the employee list and update employees in the
Yes,
database.
yes. They just
So,
here we need to remember the methods.
so try catch actually again you use because any exception here.
Yes, try catch, say for instance, the session is not available. You will get what is say null pointer exception. Say for instance, I am passing here some junk number. See here, this employee ID is not there. Correct? Let me pass here 2. This employee ID is available in database?
No.
No. Okay, let me try this one. Did we see what kind of? Let me try this one. Also, let me print that exception. E dot print stack trace. So that we will see if any possible exception. I am passing a invalid employee ID. See here what exception you got? Null pointer exception. At
Yeah.
line number 35. Sorry, 53. Why? Because so it written null. null employee object. So null dot you are calling, null pointer exception you are getting.
Right.
So that's what we are trying to catch that exception.
Okay.
Okay, now let me comment out that update employee. Update, we know how to do the update. Okay, now what I want to do, so far we know how to retrieve the records, how to update it. Now I want to do some delete employee. So I want to delete one of the employee permanently. So how we are going to delete it? So there is a method I have written, delete employee. So if you go here also, there is no difference. The difference is only one method. So this is a delete employee. So we have to pass the session as input for this method. And which employee, first we need to decide employee ID, we need to get it. So which employee details you want to delete. So we have a bunch of employee details in our database. So which employee detail you want to delete it. So basically I want to delete the same employee 21327. So I want to delete 21327 employee. Okay, let me type here 21327. So this employee details I want to delete it. So employee detail is ready. So we have a session object. So, okay, so before deleting the employee, what you have to do, you have to get the employee object from the database. Which employee object you want to delete it. So how to get one employee details, we have to call the get method, correct?
Okay.
Just pass the employee ID and corresponding class, so you will get an employee object, correct?
Okay.
After that, what you have to do, you have to call the delete method from the session just by passing the employee object.
Okay.
So just call the delete method by passing the employee object, which employee details you want to delete it. Then that's all, this employee will be deleted from the table. So let me execute it and let me print the, once the deletion is done, I want to see the details.
Okay.
Basically I want to delete the Mac2, I want to delete the Lori to Mac2 details. Okay, let me run it and we will see whether I can able to delete it or not. So first what it will do, we are trying to retrieve the Lori 2 details, and after that we are trying to delete that record, correct?
Okay.
After that we are trying to retrieve all the records. If you see the list, right, you will not see Lori. You will see only 5 records, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
And let me go to database and execute it. See here how many rows is there?
5.
5 rows. Why? Because one row got deleted. Lori 2 got deleted.
Yeah.
So this is the way we can able to do the CRUD operations. Select, retrieving all the records, updating one employee details, and deleting all one employee details. These are the operations we need to do for in day-to-day life, right?
So, okay, I have actually one question is that
Yeah.
any method actually have to write on the transaction. Okay, when you write the transaction t equal to session that begin transaction, then after that we have to write all the methods.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Another question is that actually I was trying to read the document. So suppose you are creating a Java class, and then after that you also create another Java class is the manage employee. So how do you connecting each other?
So these two employees are connecting just by passing the session. Session is
No,
common
I'm
for,
asking.
yeah. Session
I'm
is,
asking the Java first. Okay. Okay, tell.
yeah. Tell me.
Okay, no. First you create the Java class. Okay, employee.java.
Correct.
So then this Java class you are connecting with the manage.employee. So is that right? Or both
You
are the
mean
separate class?
both are class. This one you're asking employee class and manage employee, how we are connecting. That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, both are simple Java classes only.
Okay.
Both are simple classes. First, what we are trying to do. So as part of the previous examples, we inserted a lot of records. See here, no, we inserted a lot of records. We are creating employee object and we are calling save, and we are passing the employee object. Did you see there? I'm creating employee object.
Okay,
I'm
got
creating
it.
employee object and I'm calling save every time. So the record will
Okay,
be
so that means that there is no main method in employee.java.
yeah. There is no employee. This is just having setter getter only.
Oh,
Fields.
so okay, got it. Now I got it actually.
This is just
Yeah,
setter
you
getter.
got.
There is no values over here. Just field names.
Okay, you got it.
And here what we are trying to do, we are creating that employee object and we are setting the value and we are saving into the database.
Okay.
So
So any new methods coming, first I have to write under transaction.
yes,
First you
why?
have to start the.
We have to write under begin transaction and end transaction. Why? Because so let's suppose, say for instance, if some exception happened here, then we should not execute this statement. Say for instance, you are
Okay.
not able to delete the employee, then we should not do commit. Why? Because we should not do commit, right? We have not done transaction properly, correct?
Yep.
So you should not execute the commit statement. Then what happened in whatever you did the operation, that will not reflect to the database. If everything
Okay.
is fine, then only we have to do transaction dot commit. Then the changes will be affected in the database. If you think something went wrong, don't execute the statement.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is fine. Okay. Now let me go to some other example. Okay, what is the next example we are going to discuss is, so far, right, we are dealing with only one table, correct? Just we are inserting
Yeah.
records into one table and retrieving, update, delete we are doing, correct? As part of the second
Yeah.
example, what we are going to see, we are going to create two tables now, not one table. It is a little bit
Okay.
complicated table, two tables.
Yeah.
So what is the two tables we'll do? First I will tell you theoretically. First I want to create one of the author table. So author, just author table. So author is having one unique ID, correct? And name,
Yeah.
some other details. ID is generated from the database. 1, 2, 3. How many authors is available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And name, corresponding name. Okay. So far this is fine, right? Author details. Okay.
Okay.
And as part of, I'm creating second table also, like a book.
Okay.
So what here I'm trying to save ID, book ID. Okay. Book
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
And I want to save who is the author of the book.
Okay.
So this reference I want to save here.
Okay. Got it.
So each book having one unique author.
Right.
One book should not have two authors, correct?
Right.
So this is called as a one-to-one mapping. One-to-one mapping.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understood, theoretically you understood, right?
Yes.
So first I'm creating a empty authors. After that I'm trying to create each one book ID I'm generating and author ID I'm getting from the existing authors.
Okay.
Okay, this is one scenario. Say for instance, whenever you are trying to delete the author details, let's suppose you are decided you want to delete the author details. What it will happen? We should not allow to delete the author details directly. Why? Because we are referring this author ID in book, correct?
Yeah.
So we should not delete. Why? Because if a book is there, if you delete the author details, what will happen? Book is there but no author.
Right.
That is not the right scenario, correct?
Yeah.
So we should, whenever we are creating the tables, we have to mention that scenario. We should not delete this table if there is any reference is there. We should not delete the
Yeah.
author details if any reference is there in any other tables, correct?
Yep.
So that also we will see how we are going to mention that kind of relationship. Okay,
Okay.
first let me show you the author details. So this is the author class. This is having just setter getter like employee details. Okay. See here, what
Right.
are the details we have? Author ID, name, email. So this is the author details. 3
Yeah.
fields. Okay, author ID will be generated from the database. And name and email you have to give. So author name and author email we have to give from our Java class. This is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me go to the book table or book class. If you see here, first field is a book ID.
Yes.
So it will generate from the database and book title and some description and publish date. And the last one
Right.
is who is the author of the book.
Right.
So author details we have anyway in different class. Okay. Publish date,
Yep.
description, title and book ID. And as part of book table, we are trying to save author details also. Correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, now so far it's clear, right? Now go to
Yep.
the HBM file, how we are trying to save. First we will see author details. See here, so this is a package, com.test.employee. So this package, right, you can mention as part of this class. Here also you can mention. You can able to. So Hibernate mapping, we have a class name and table name. Okay.
Yep.
And
Yep.
ID is a auto incremented. So ID is a auto incremented. I'm giving the database column name as a author underscore ID. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm trying to generate it from the database.
Okay.
Sorry. After that, 2 more fields, name and email.
Okay.
This is clear, right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Next table is book. Okay. So
Yep.
if we see the book, right? So this is a class and book is a Java class name and book is the table name I had given. And this is the corresponding package.
Right.
Okay, com.test.employee. Under employee, we have this class. And ID is a
Right.
primary key and I am trying to generate it from the database. Okay.
Right.
So far it's clear.
Yep.
And rest of the fields
Yep.
just I'm mentioning here. Title, description, publisher date.
Yeah, I got.
And here you can mention type string, date and database column names. Okay. And this is the
Yeah.
important
Got
point.
it.
The last point, this is the very important point. If you see
Page
here,
mapping.
right? Yes. So here, what is the point here, right? I told you each book should have one author, correct?
Right.
So we have to mention many to one. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we need to mention we have an author class in our book table, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one. So many to one, we have to mention the author and corresponding class, author and author ID, author underscore ID, and it must be a unique, correct?
Yeah.
And each book
Yeah.
should have only one author,
Right.
and it should not null. And here cascade all, what it will do, whenever you are trying to delete author detail, if is there any reference, we should not delete that one. We should
Okay.
not delete or we should not update author details.
Right.
So that is the main XMLs. And now let me go to the main Java class.
Okay.
So here configuration, session factory, transaction, till here no change. Okay. First what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a book, simple book. Book, new book equal to something. Okay. I'm trying to set
Yeah.
title, JSP, set description, publish date. I'm hard coding
Right.
all the details. Okay. After that, what I'm
Right.
trying to do, just I'm creating author details. Author, set name, set email. Correct?
Right.
So whatever author I created over here, finally I am trying to set this author details to my book.
Okay.
Correct?
Yep. Yep.
That is done. So finally, what I am trying to tell, what I am trying to save, I am saving my book details. Here
Okay.
here if you see here, right, I am not passing author details. I am passing only book details. Correct?
Okay. Yep.
Session dot save, I am passing the book details. So how author details will be saved? If you see inside book table, right, book class, we have author. Correct?
Right.
So if you pass book indirectly, author details also will be saved.
Right.
Okay, let me run it and let me see the configuration, whether we are creating the table or we are dropping the table. So here we need to mention two HBM files. If you see here, so this is also one difference. So mapping, we are referring the author details plus book details. Correct?
Right.
So this is the way we have to refer the HBM details. And so here HBM auto here, right? So you want to create the table every time or you want to update the record. So that is based on your configuration. I want to create the table first time.
Okay.
Create.
Yeah.
Just I want to create the table, and if it is there, you can drop it. Okay, now let me
Okay.
run it and we will see how the tables will be created and how the keys will be generated.
Okay.
See here, it generated a lot of queries. We need to understand this very carefully. If you see here, right, it is trying to do alter table. It is dropping the existing for keys and all. First time we are trying to create, so it is trying to drop the existing keys.
Okay.
After that, it is trying to drop the author table, and it is trying to drop the book table if it is there.
Yeah.
Then what it's trying to do, first it is trying to create the author table.
Right.
Correct? We should not create book table directly. Why? Because if at all if you are trying to create book table, we need author. Correct?
Right.
Book should not exist without author. Author can exist without book. Correct?
Yes.
So that's what first we are trying to create author details. Okay.
Okay.
After that we are trying to create book table.
Book table.
After that, what we are trying to do, we are inserting the records into book table.
Right.
We are inserting the records into book table, and also we are inserting records into author tables as well. And once
Right.
once the record inserted into author table, so whatever the generated, we got the author ID, we are updating into book table.
Right.
So finally, we inserted one author and one book detail. So let me go to table and we will see how many. Show table, select or author. So this is author detail. So what is the author name I had given? So author name I had given Joe Chandy, joe@email.com, correct?
Yeah.
So Joe Chandy, joe@email.com, and the generated author ID is 1. Okay, now let me go to the second table. So this is the book table. So generated book ID is 1, and book title is JSP, and book description is Java server pages, and the published date is today date.
Yes.
You can give past date also, whatever date you want. 2016 10 4, and the corresponding author ID is 1.
Okay.
So it is mapping to this column.
Right.
This is clear, right?
Yeah.
If you want to insert another records, so just you need to modify these records. Let me give servlets. So here title I'm giving as a servlets, and I'm giving description also servlets, and author I'm trying to give same author. I'm trying to give same author. I'm not going to change author. In that case, what I have to do here, I want to update the records. I don't want to recreate it. Let me create it, update. So now let me run it. The second book I am trying to add for the same author.
Yeah.
See how many books is there now?
2.
Two, correct?
Yeah.
And you can say this is a different author. Author ID is 2, and details, right? That is up to you whether you will give same details or not. But ID is different here, correct?
Right.
Each book is having one unique author.
Right.
Generally, they should not give same name and same email, but author ID is different here. See here, this is a new author. This author 1 and 2 is a different author.
Right.
Okay. So ideally we should give some different name, but I just for testing purpose I'd given a same name and same email. So this second book author is ID is 2. So like that we can able to maintain unique ID. Then we can able to refer the foreign key. So this one we used to call it as a foreign key.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this example is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for today. I mean, we have only 10 minutes left, and second example it will take more time. So we'll see this second example tomorrow. Okay, and I will do, I will send these 2 examples, Java files and video. You can have a look, and if you have any questions, we will discuss as part of next class.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, fine, yeah, thanks.